Alright, Shop 3.0. This is actually the third incarnation of the shop. I don't have videos of the first two incarnations. I think I have very few pictures of the first incarnation, but this is the third, and it's a constant work in progress. I've got a long way to go. It's come a long way in a year and a half, but it's got a long way to go. Here's the office area, or what I call my office area. It's also the family seating area. And then come around to a lumber rack for probably the first, oh, I don't know, 7-8 years that we were in this house. This was storage for, you know, all of our houseware stuff and things like that. And it took me a long time to figure out where all that stuff was going to go and to clear it out. And it's a lumber rack that I built here in the shop using nothing but a circular saw and a palm sander. And I got it slants too much back. I needed up a little bit more because the longer pieces, they're kind of laying down a little bit too far aslant. It's a lot more organized, and it's definitely a lot easier to get to the lumber than it was before. No, I don't have videos of that, but I got old pictures. And this is all the stuff that's currently working right now: jewelry armoire, a coat and shoe rack that I'm building out of scrap wood, all recycled wood. Bathroom cabinet for a neighbor, an old exercise bike that I'm going to redo and start using, a chair for a neighbor that I had to repair. And this is my finishing area, what's now my finishing area. This here is my paint cabinet. This has got all the, those are all my medium paints, all my smaller paints, and some small acrylics back there. Down here is all my
larger cans of stain, my medium cans of stain, stain pens, polyurethane, lacquer, paste wax, all my gallons of paint, and then down there's an extra spray
gun, because I spray all my paint. I don't hand paint anything. I spray all my paint and all my clear coat except for the aerosol lacquer. Obviously I spray that with the can. And this is a materials rack. And this has got canvas, cloth, vinyl, bags of like almost like some felt stuff. This is I built the material rack. This cabinet, or this bench, this basic table, was over there when we moved in, and then I added the back part to it, and then I added the material rack, and then I added the place to organize my shop towels and rags. And then this is my spray paint. I had to build this little shelf for spray paint because I had a bunch of little cans of spray paint laying around everywhere. That area, that there, I'm just kind of using temporarily as storage. It's the underneath of the storage, or the lumber rack. It's just storage right now. It's all stuff I need to go through and find homes for. And there's all my trim pieces. I have them all organized in this little box that I built to keep them organized. There's my fire extinguisher. Gotta have that. That's important. But this is kind of my finishing station now. This is where you know, I'll kind of strip things here. Well, actually, I work out here. Yeah, I do work there. And this is where I kind of start and finish here, because this is where I clean everything up, strip it all down. Any kind of repairs or cutting or anything I do over there. Shaping, joining, things like that I do over there. This is all finishing and starting. And once these all get out of here, once I get all done with these and these all get out of here, then that'll open this whole area right here up. Will all be open. So that'll make a big difference. Okay, and then obviously the garage door, which got screwed up because this is the problem with having a shop in your garage. Somebody closed the garage door on a computer desk that my son was working on, his first solo project, semi-solo project. And this is what it did to the garage door. It did nothing but left a little mark that we were actually able to scrub off of the computer desk. But boy, it sure did a number on the garage door. So now, as soon as I get all this cleared out of here, I gotta take this brace off, and I'm just gonna replace it with wood pieces, except for this brace here. I have to leave that. But all those, I'm just gonna replace with wood pieces. Alright, so then you come around over here, and this is where my paint storage used to be. It used to be a metal shelf that just had all kinds of paint stuff stacked up on it. And then I built this other wooden one with shelves and everything. As you can see, the lines are still there on the wall from where I built it. But then when I built that lumber rack over there, then that left this space open. And I was going to put my dust collection system there, which I eventually will still, but oh hey, Big Mama, yeah, that's my shop mascot. She's actually mascot 2.0. We had another mascot in here. I had another mascot in here, and he was an outdoor cat, and he left one day, and I never saw him again. But I'm using this for my compressor now. This is just a temporary setup. I got a whole thing I got to put up, a retractable wheel with the hose on it, but I don't have any ends on it yet. I've got a multi-tap line, or a multi-tap end on it, so I can be running like my air gun sprayer, or my spray gun, or my browder at the same time. There's a jig that I made for circular saw. It's just your standard circular saw straight edge, but I don't know, it's not so straight anymore for some reason. There's a drill bit case that I made, or drill bit holder that I made. There you go, that's a little better. That's just some of the drill bits. I gave somebody a bunch of drill bits and ended up with a bunch more, so now I gotta figure out a bigger drill bit. And plus I got 2 cases of drill bits right there that are pretty much all intact. The hard case is all intact, and the soft case, I think it's got a couple bits that got broke. This right here is my tool chest for right now, until I can build me a nice tool cabinet up there on the wall, but this will work for now, I guess. And then this bench was actually here when we moved in, but I'm going to put some cabinets and drawers down along the bottom and get rid of all those crates and all that open space and area. I don't like the open clutter look. That looks like a warehouse to me, and I don't like a warehouse. It's a shop, not a warehouse. But I mean, this has actually undergone numerous changes over the couple of years that I've been doing this. This is just the current one. I would have to say this one is probably version 5.2 or something. I don't know. But oh, that's not all my tools, believe me. That thing right there, every drawer has got tools, except the bottom drawer is like some bike parts, things like that, and a bunch of speakers. And this cabinet up here, this cabinet was here when we moved in, and this is really basically where I got all my car cleaning stuff.
Couple staples that I don't use anymore, my machine oil, just basic cleaning stuff. That's all household cleaning stuff. All that string and twine, and that's all copper and things like that. I was going to get into the recycling thing, but I changed my mind, decided not to. It's too much work and I just don't have time for it.
I'd rather be doing woodworking. So here's a bench grinder. I just actually just got this bench grinder, I think maybe like a week ago, something like a week ago, and I just got it hooked up the other day, and it's pretty quiet, works pretty good. But it vibrates the hell out of everything. Sounds like a plane's landing overhead. And this is all stuff that needs to be worked on too. Once this is out of here, that'll all be open as well. I actually started this a long time ago, redoing this old dresser. I don't know how much of it you can see. I've already got the stain and everything on it. Just got a few little touch-ups that I still need to do on it and work on the drawers. And then I got 2 nightstands that match it that I need to get in here and get finished up there on the back patio right now, which is full of furniture that needs to be done. But I ended up having a heart attack when I was working on this. I mean, not at the moment I was working on it, but in the middle of this project. Yeah, and so that'll all be open right there too. So that will all be open, and this will all be open eventually. Okay, now going into the heart of the shop, and actually a couple of fairly new additions. We got this one first. Here is my router with my home-built router table, shop built. I used all scrap wood except for the top. I did buy a new top, or new boards for the top. I don't remember, be honest with you, I don't remember what kind of wood this is. Actually, I could find out, I think, because I've got more of it. Okay, I dug it out and found out this is actually a Stron, S-T-R-O-N underlayment. It's like floor. You put this down for flooring before you put down like a wood floor or something. And I actually tripled it, so it's actually 3 laminated layers together. And then what I did was I went ahead and I mounted the router housing to the 2nd layer. So when, yeah, it's permanent. It's not changeable or removable. I don't plan on taking this out and using it for any application other than this. Eventually I'll get myself a plunge router, and that'll be the one that I'll use for the hand applications. But right now everything I do on a router, because I'm really just basically starting on a router, and this is just a homemade fence that I just made just to be able to use the router for now until I can get some things built up. But this router table I got for free. Somebody told me that they were somebody was throwing away a router table. So I went over there and we went ahead and grabbed it, and then I brought it home, started tearing it apart because it was a piece of junk router table. I mean, it was really, really bad. And I think the only thing original that I kept was the leg posts, 2 of the legs, and the frame for the bottom shelf. Everything else is new. 2 legs, the bottom shelf, the center compartment, the frame for the top, the back. Oh, the back is cut from an original, part of the original piece, part of the original table. The back is cut from that, and that's it. But anyway, then I found out a couple of days later, after I'd already torn it apart and pretty much had it almost in this condition right here, that it was not intended to be thrown away. That was a mistake. And so, well, they ended up letting me keep the router table because I put so much work into it. So everything worked out pretty good. I don't have an on and off switch for it for any kind of an emergency, so I do have to turn it on from under here. But I got this set up here to where if there's an emergency, I can't reach under here real quick, so I just pull this. I just pull this right here, and it unplugs the router. And then I'm starting a series of drawers here that will hold all different kinds of things. Right now I'm just barely starting my my bit collection, and yes, I do have the one that you have to I do have the one that you have to put a 1/4 inch collet in it to hold a 1/4 inch shaft. But that's okay, because I'll just make sure I stay with 1/4 inch bits on this one, and then the plunge router I get, I'll do the 1/2 inch shaft on that one. Okay, and then here's my workbench. Now what this is I started out working out here. When I started working out here almost 2 years ago, excuse me, I was using an old antique desk as a workbench, and it was so flimsy and rickety and wobbly. You couldn't cut on it, you couldn't put anything heavy on it. I mean, it was really pretty much useless as a workbench, but it was all I had. So I ended up redoing this desk, or I'm sorry, dresser. And this lady came to look at it. She was looking for one that looked old because she wanted to distress it. And she saw my workbench, and she said, actually, I'm looking more for one like that. And I told her, well, that's my workbench. She said, well, I'll give you $60 for it. I said, you know what, take it. So I took this metal desk that was out on my back patio for a couple of years and brought that in here and used that for a workbench for probably over a year. And it worked okay, but it was too low. It was wide. I liked the width, and the length was okay, but it was way too low. It's that way too low, and I ended up having to bend over and hunch over. So someone gave us, actually my wife's uncle gave us, they remodeled their home, and they gave us a couple of these closet doors, or these doors, because my kids had put a hole in their bedroom door. Yeah, like I'm the only parent who's dealt with that. But anyway, so they gave us these doors so that we... Okay, sorry about the interruption there. Normally my wife hardly ever comes out here to the shop, but for some reason today she's been out here 4 times just in the 24 minutes I've been making this video. But anyway, I was telling you the story about the workbench. So anyway, the lady ended up buying the old antique desk that I was using, and I brought this white desk, which is actually now right outside the garage door, which I don't have open because it's really windy today. But anyway, that's my paint table now. Anyway, so I took these 2 doors because they were flat doors. They're not the raised panel, the 6-panel doors like we have on all the doors in the house. They're flat doors, and they're really ugly as far as doors go. Too institutional looking. So anyway, I took these 2 doors and a bunch of scrap lumber that I had laying around that I've been holding on to for a long time. And a vast majority of this workbench is part of a bookshelf, a humongous bookshelf that my mother-in-law used to have. So I took these 2 closet doors and I went ahead and I made a bigger, better workbench. And I made these lips all the way around it right here, so I have somewhere to clamp no matter where I am on the workbench. I got somewhere to clamp. I don't have a vise yet. I'm actually working on that. I will get one. But yeah, these are closet doors, and they make a decent workbench. The only thing I don't like about it is they're hollow. That's the only thing I don't like about them. So the top is not real super sturdy. Got my miter box on there, which I'm going to build something over here in a little bit and relocate that. And then down here, this is just a temporary workbench. I just needed something that was better than that low desk that was killing my back every time I use it, because I had to hunch over no matter what I was working on. So this is just temporary, just for now, just so I could get working. And me being the perfectionist that I am, sometimes doesn't leave well enough alone, and I ended up putting a hole in my workbench trying to be a perfectionist. So it's like a little sawdust tray now, I guess. I just gotta get the shop vac and suck that out. Okay, so this is a workbench, and it actually works pretty good. It's a good height for me. It's right about my waist height, so it's a good height for me. And I wanted the router table the same size, but like I said, this was already. These are the two legs that I kept to the original so I just went ahead and kept it the same size. But this works pretty good because I can actually use this as kind of like a stop for you know, when I'm planing or something like that. I had to Bondo a couple of holes. I ran out of Bondo, which I got some more, which I just haven't finished those, filling in those yet, and then just got to sand down a few spots. Okay, now the newest addition to the shop is my table saw. It's a Ryobi 10-inch. It's kind of a beginner table saw, which is fine because it's my first one. And this was actually a gift. It was not a gift from my wife or a relative or anything. I had a lady came to me one day when I was doing some bar stools for a guy that lives around the corner.
And the bar stools are coming out really, really good. Now I don't have videos of that, but I do have pictures of them. But anyway, the bar stools were coming out really good, and I reupholstered the bottoms of them, or the seat part of them, and everything. And so anyway, this lady came to me, and she wanted me to redo her kitchen cabinets. And not just redo her kitchen cabinets, she wanted me to build a new pantry and everything. Her kitchen cabinets, this is one of them. This used to be hanging in her kitchen, this kitchen cabinet right here. It used to be hanging in her kitchen. And she wanted it taken down, and this little desk kind of thing taken down, which I think I got out back, but pieces of it are in different things all over the shop, because she gave me the desk when we took it out. But anyway, so all of her cabinets, her kitchen cabinets were all this color right here. This color right here, which is pretty much standard of all the houses in this neighborhood. But anyway, so we stained them all dark, like darker than this spot right here. Okay? And put handles on them, and clear coated them, and finish waxed them and everything. Built a whole new pantry, turned one cabinet into 5 drawers. We did a lot of work, but I did a lot of it by myself, and she kept changing things. You know, we'd start moving forward, and then she'd change something, so we'd have to go back, and then start moving forward again, and then she would change something. But anyway, the job ended up taking me 2.5 months. It went well over a month over schedule, and went probably $400 to $500 over budget. But anyway, because it took me so long, and because I spent so much time working on
things that I wasn't making any money on, they went and they bought me a table saw. At the end of the job, when it was all done, she took me over to Home Depot and bought me this table saw. And I just got this table saw maybe 5 days ago, and I set it all up, and I set up the stand that it came with and everything. But the only problem was I had one extension cord on this hook right here.
That I just kind of strung along right here because it was plugged in back over here, and I just ran it around here. And I had one extension cord, and so I would have to plug in my circular saw, make a cut with my circular saw, unplug the circular saw, plug in my jigsaw, use the jigsaw, unplug the jigsaw, plug in the compressor, get that build up, then use my bradder or my air gun or my spray gun over there. Or then I'd have to plug in the shop. It was just really a pain in the butt. It really, really was. So when I built this workbench just the other day, I said, you know what, if I'm going to have a table saw and a router and a circular saw and a jigsaw and a compressor, then I need more power.
So I ran one extension cord around down the floor underneath the workbench. Like I said, this is just temporary, so I'm not doing anything real fancy, and ran it over here to run electrical to my workbench. Now I wanted the wires on the inside, but the spade bit that I have isn't big enough to fit all these different plugs through the holes. You know, as you can see, I tried right there, but that's the biggest spade bit I got, and that plug is not fitting through that hole. I don't care, it's not fitting. So I just ran them on the outside. When I go and I build my actual modular cabinet workbench, then I'll go ahead and run all the electrical on the inside. So now I got the table saw ran to the electrical, I got the router table ran to the electrical. I got the compressor is actually run on a separate line itself back over there where this is plugged into. And so it seems to be working pretty good. And then since this is going to be my working area right here, I went ahead and mounted the electrical on this side, so that way I can just plug things in and still work on this side of the table with my jigsaw and circular saw and everything else. And this is where I'm going to build the wing coming off this direction right here off of the work table, and that's going to be like my sawing and cutting, shaping, joining station. I'm going to put I'm going to have an area there to where it's going to be easier to use my circular saw. It's going to be a wider wing for the table saw, so I can make wider than 12-inch cuts, and I'll build this one out this way just a little bit. I'll probably offset this just a little bit, move the table saw this way a little bit, so I can bring this wing out this way a little bit, so I can do bigger than 12-inch cuts. And then over here on this side, I can only do 8-inch cuts. So when I extend this out, I'll be able to do much longer cuts. And then I'll also have, that's where my vise and everything will be at the end of the table out here, to where I can be able to stand the boards up this way to do the finger joints or the dovetails, or you know, things like that. And then I'll have a bench hook mounted onto it so I can do my chiseling, things like that. Maybe another vise so I can do planers, but I've got to get some new planes. I have one plane, it's really old, and I have butter knives sharper than my plane. But yep, this is Shop 3.0. Guess I can't really complain about my workspace too much anymore. It's definitely getting there.